Now, Go North Medical Outreach is a non-profit organization dedicated to providing comprehensive neurodevelopmental services to children living with special needs in northern Ghana, recognizing the region's significant gaps in healthcare and support. Our mission is to bridge this disparity and offer hope to marginalized communities. So in the studio with me is Zahrah Ibrahim, and then I also have Professor Mamudu Abunga Akudugu. Yes, did I say it right?
You did.
Yay. And then I think I will let you introduce yourself. Ida Alote Brown. So they have joined us from Go North Medical Outreach. You're welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So I think that I have said a little bit about what you do, Go North Outreach, but tell me why you're doing it. Let's start from there.
Okay, good. Thank you for having us, and good morning to your listeners and followers on Facebook. The Go North Medical Outreach Program started about a year ago, and as you indicated in your introductory introduction, we realized that in the North there is lack of access or inadequate access to professional services for children with neurodevelopmental challenges.
Okay.
And for example, the whole of the 5 northern regions, we have just one speech therapist based in Tamale, the Tamale Teaching Hospital.
Right.
And so we thought that it was important to create an opportunity to bring experts from down south to the north to provide these services to parents and caregivers who have children with these challenges.
Right.
So that's how come we started it last year, and we're continuing this year.
Okay. Yeah. And since you started, how has it been so far?
It's been great.
Okay.
For the first year, that was last year, we were able to attend to over 250 children and their caregivers. We provided capacity building of the parents and caregivers as to how to handle these children, because some of the conditions are not curable.
Right.
So you just have to manage it. And so the experts were able to build their capacity as to how to manage the conditions and to help the children to live at least some meaningful life.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's really good. Good of you. So what services does Go North offer? Do you want to say that?
Okay. So this year, let me talk about last year. So last year, we had about 5 therapists on board.
Okay.
Plus 2 doctors, 7 over 250 population persons who came, children with neurological condition coming. Okay. This time around, looking at the last year's number, equivalent to the therapists that were available, we felt we saw the need to have more, because the numbers are likely to grow even more this time around. Okay. So this time around, we have more than 12. More than 12 therapists, 13, to be precise, therapists on board. Okay. All round, we are having speech therapists, we are having occupational therapists, we are having behavioral therapists, we are having the special educators as well. Okay. We are having physiotherapists. Have I left anything out?
Behavioral.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, and we have doctors as well joining us during this year's program. I mean.
Okay, and when is this year's program happening?
It starts on Tuesday, so next week Tuesday to Friday, we are going north.
Okay. So is it just the team? Are you open to having volunteers join you? Like, what's the process like?
So it was open to anyone and everyone who would like to join to support. But Currently, since it's been funded by us, we do our own funding.
Okay.
We're going by ourselves, and we just helping others get to know more about neurodevelopmental issues and how to support our learners or our kids who are neurodiverse.
Right. Now, I know somebody may be listening and they may have had neurodevelopmental issues, or you have just said neurodiverse. Can you do a breakdown so that for any parent, I mean, we can do some education here to let them understand what exactly do you mean when you say that? And also, what are some of the conditions that children fall under that will make them neurodiverse?
Okay, so when we talk about neurodevelopmental conditions, these are conditions that from birth affect the brain.
Okay.
So most of the time, these conditions are incurable.
Okay.
You either are able to find a more adjusted life through therapy.
Okay.
So these are conditions that first of all affect the brain. Now, conditions persons that suffer from such conditions are persons with autism, persons with cerebral palsy, persons with ADHD. We have persons with intellectual disability, and direct we can have dyslexia, dyscalculia, and all the others. We have syndromic conditions as well, such as Down syndrome, Rett syndrome. What other syndromes again? There are quite a lot of syndromes. Any condition that's first of all, when from birth, affected the child's brain is going to lead to some of these things.
Right.
I've not mentioned some. There are quite a lot which I may have not mentioned now. But if you have a child or your child is suffering from any of these or even more, we have all these therapists available to come and help you, give you strategies, help you to find a more adjustable way for your child to live more functionally in their environment.
Okay. That's wonderful. And are you also doing some education for the parents? Because, I mean, for the most part in Ghana, a lot of parents will feel as though if they have a child like that, oh, maybe, I don't know, I have been cursed. And people hide their children who are like that. They don't even allow for another person to see them. And that makes the situation worse for the child, because then they can't even manage the situation that they have. So is there some education going on for parents as well?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
So what happens is that when we go, we do have radio interviews just as we're having here.
Okay.
After that, we have seminars that we organize with the various therapists, explaining to the parents, especially helping them to understand the conditions and then what can be done to support the children. Because for us, it's just a few days up there in the north, but they would be there. How do they support their kids even before the next year's event comes off? So that's our main objective, to educate them. And then when we are done, the consultations and then the other support services are also delivered. Okay.
That's wonderful. So do they have support groups where people can, I don't know, compare notes, gather strength from here and there? Because sometimes you feel like you may have the worst case or situation, and then you meet another person who may be going through something similar, and it kind of gives you a little hope and encouragement, because you guys can, I don't know, compare notes and see how we can balance each other out and support each other. I mean, is there something like that going on for the parents who have these children?
So we do have, unfortunately, let me say, majority of the organizations are here in Accra.
Okay.
But since with the advent of technology, we are able to at least meet some people who are not here in Accra.
Okay.
There are some parents, I remember in April when there was the Autism Awareness Month, a parent came from Tamale to Accra just because she saw the flyer on social media and she was here. Such a parent is one that we encourage to join us during. She is actually on our platform of Mission Pediatrics. She is there, she gets to learn, and she also supports others who are in her region. It's something that we are encouraging all to participate in.
Okay.
Although we may not be able to be there in person, at least you can get to learn. We do have webinars and things in every month where we tend to discuss issues concerning neurodiversity. So these are other areas or other avenues within which we help others to get to learn to and support our parents in their diverse ways.
Okay. That's wonderful.
Okay, I think apart from that, last year it was very interesting when the different parents came together for that workshop.
Right.
And they began to see what other parents were going through.
Right.
And so it became more like a support system for them. And so what we've been trying to do over time is to form the parent
support
what we
group.
call the peer support group,
Right.
where at least you know that there are others going probably worse situation than you are. And so it's something that we are working on.
Okay.
And for us who are based in the north, I'm from the north.
Okay.
My wife and I decided to have this initiative basically because of our experiences being northerners and staying in the north.
Okay.
And the fact that the people, in fact, some children are even killed because of these neurodevelopmental challenges that they have. And as you said, some are hiding their children. They don't even want them to come out and all that. And so we're working to form this network of support, peer support groups that can, at least once in a while, meet to share ideas and even share in their challenges, whatever that is going on and the rest of it. Of course, hooking them up with the experts who are based here through technology, I mean, to keep them going.
Right. That is wonderful. All right. And you just mentioned that you started this with your wife. Was there any particular inspiration to focus on neurodiversity?
Yes. The inspiration actually came from our son.
Okay.
Our son, who was about, I think, 9 months or so, 12 months thereabout, and he could say some words, and he could say daddy, he could say mommy, and what have you. And they traveled to the U.S. And when they got to the U.S., I think a week or two after that, this guy went mute. I mean, he won't, they'll be talking, he won't say anything, he was not, and all that. And my wife got worried. For us, I mean, I felt it was, I mean, it was just a passing phase in his life. But she got so worried and started, talking, looking for help, reading online, all kinds of things that she did. And then as soon as they got back to Ghana, she started looking all the places that she could get help. And one of she was referred to Missing Pediatrics.
Right.
And she went there, and then we were referred to Clicks Africa again to get some help and all that. And just within a short period of time, everything got resolved. And now when you see him talking and doing all the rest of the day, I mean, they said he didn't have any problem. Fortunately for us, they did the diagnosis. He didn't have any neurodevelopmental challenge and all the rest of it. And so when that happened, she was like, if she did not do the kind of running around that she did, and she didn't, know how to read and did all the reading that she did, then what could have been the situation? Yeah. Right? And so she said, well, she believes that there are others who are also going through this, but probably don't even know where to turn to. Yeah. She had the opportunity to go to the U.S. She had friends and family that could refer her to Missing Pediatrics and the rest of. So what of those who had not got all those opportunities? So she decided that for her birthday, she was going to organize this event, and that was what we did last year for her birthday. Wonderful. So and at least we have these wonderful people from Missing Pediatrics, Zahrah and Dr. Medel, Ida and co coming on board to support. So as he said, last year 6 of them came, and this year they have doubled the number, more than double the number. And we are really excited because they are doing this pro bono. Yeah, and you can imagine that as they are out of Accra for 1 week, the bookings they have to cancel and all the amounts of money they have to. So that is wonderful. Really wonderful. That is wonderful. And we call on corporate Ghana and individuals who are interested in supporting
Yeah.
And even yourself, we invite
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
We need
Yeah.
yes.
I'm always very interested in conversations when it comes to health.
Yes,
You know,
so
I'm always very interested.
Yes. So we are grateful for all the help. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, seeing as, for Zahrah, you do this. This is your job. This is what you do. Give us a little education. At what point should a parent be worried that something may be wrong with a child? Because sometimes you can never know. I also have, I have a couple friends, two of them, whose son, just like you mentioned early on, he started talking, then he stopped. And he's never spoken since. And he's but he has been diagnosed. He's on the spectrum, and I think he's 8 or 9 years old, and so but he cannot speak. But he started, and then so the parents were not that worried. Until then, they got worried. Even me at the time, I said, "Oh, don't worry," because my older sister, my mom told me, she didn't speak till she was 5 years, but she spoke and she's speaking. She's fine, And so sometimes you hear things from other parents like, "Oh, don't worry, my child went through it, she'll be fine." At what point should a parent be worried or should see that, okay, something is not right?
Okay, so in the beginning, we mentioned that these conditions are from the brain. So there's some conditions that affect your physical appearance, right from birth. The moment you see that, oh, my child has a different, that their physical appearance is a bit different, immediately you know that there's a problem. So you seek for help immediately. But there are some conditions that just look like I am doing, and there is no physical defect or whatsoever. So for that matter, it's quite difficult to know that there's a problem. Usually we have what we call red flags. Red flags are the things that as parents you should look out for, right? From birth. You should start looking out for some of these things. I want to share my experience just recently. A mom who has a 3-year-old daughter had no idea her child was deaf. Profoundly deaf, yes. Wow. And she just went to do a hearing test, and she realized that the child can't even hear. And what pushed her was the child just left the house and was crossing the road. So she was mentioning her name, and she was wondering why she was not turning, and went to grab her and tapped her, and she startled. So she was like, I was shouting your name, and how are you now startling? So why do you startle? So she had to do a hearing test for her to find out that her child was profoundly deaf. So
3 years.
3 years. So some of the red flag could have been like that. How about when you're blending? Does she hear? When you bang the door, will she startle?
Yeah.
So from birth, anytime you feel that my child is not responding to stimuli, auditory stimuli, then there's a red flag that you need to actually immediately seek help. You don't wait till your child is 1, 2. The little we have what we call milestones. The moment you see that I'm no longer near this milestone, then there's a need to see a professional.
Right.
You are 3, your child is not talking at all. Your child is even babbling and doing all the other sounds that you don't really understand. You mention your child's name, he's not turning, he's not responding, and you still feel it will come. Yes. That was then.
I know.
That was then. There's a different generation now.
Right.
So the moment you just notice, do not wait. Do not do the I'll wait. Oh, may train. Immediately, please seek for medical attention. Just go to the nearest. Now, the population is quite growing when it comes to the professionals around. They will just send you right into the right area to go to seek help. So the very little things. Look at your milestones. You can find all the milestones online. Just type milestones for children, exactly, for walking, for talking, for self-help. All these things, you can find them. So realize and women especially, we have this very strong instinct that there's something wrong. Like he said that, oh, it will come. But you feel that there's a question mark somewhere. Please do not sit to clear the question mark. Just seek for help immediately.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, so on Tuesday, we're going up north.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so for anybody who may be looking to join you, support you, how do they do that?
Yeah, I think for support, if you have either toys or equipment or anything that you think
the children will
the
enjoy.
children would
Yeah.
want. You can share with us.
Okay.
We'll get it to them.
Okay.
In fact, Missing Pediatrics has already gathered a number that we are carrying.
Okay.
So they can add it to their stock. If you have, as I said, this is largely based on individual contributions,
Right.
and myself and my wife doing it out of pocket.
Right.
And so if you, those who would want to support financially, they can send it either by bank
Okay.
to Liana Therapy Center. The account number is 611-0101-656.
Okay.
The account number again 611-0101-656. Or Momo.
Okay.
You can send it by Momo at 059-8969316, 059-8969316. And if you want to contact us to volunteer, I mean, if you are a professional and you think that you can join us in Boga, you can call the number 050-4383-229 or 024-193-4242. If you call any of these numbers, either to you want to volunteer or you have some equipment or any toys or whatever you want to support us with, we'll appreciate.
Okay.
I want to just share my experience last year. It was my first time up north, and honestly, seeing the number of children who really need the help, and it is just an individual or just a few individuals who are actually funding this. We couldn't really reach a very large population like that. I'm pleading to the public out there that with your help, no amount is too small. There are quite a number. In fact, I was really overwhelmed when I saw that, hey, you've been sitting all this while. And they said, where do we go to? Even coming to Accra was even a problem in terms of money.
Right.
How much more going to even pay for the service? Even to Tamale was an issue for some of them. When they heard of the medical outreach, traveled from far to just come and sleep the previous day for the one-on-one assessment. And we could reach a larger population if we have more funding. So we are pleading to corporate organizations who are doing this as their yearly quota to individuals to support this initiative.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for coming through. And we really are hoping that everything will go very well on Tuesday, and we will support you. So I'll have you leave your numbers so that we can still be drumming on them up until Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you so
very
much.
Thank you so much.
All right. So there you had